Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG that you may know as a leFhy or a leaf blower. We know it as Fifi La Pew Pew. This one is located on the west spawn of Sand River and it's under the command of Appa561 of OLIMP. But we've got an unusual battle for you. What we've actually got happening here is a dual perspective from either side of the battlefield. Yes, we're watching Appa in his Fifi move to his firing position, but we're going to see the battle from the enemy's point of view later on during the game. Now, Appa's armed with a 105mm light field howitzer. That's where you get the 105 and the leFH in the name, Feldhaubitze. And it's actually on a B2 chassis, which is, of course, a tank that was actually captured by the Germans and put into use as a Butpanzer or prize panzer. Now, he's aiming down the other end of the valley towards the exit from the enemy cap area, looking on the riverbed for any sign of the enemy, any trace that the enemy's moving towards us. Now, these shells will do 105 alpha. Oh, 105, 410 alpha, what am I saying? 53mm pen and a 1.91 burst radius. Okay, Chappie, rounds out. Hits the ridgeline. That's going to warn the Chappie he's under fire. Now, we've landed in a tier 5 game with tier 4 tanks in it. I don't know how that shell managed to miss the Chappie because it went over the ridgeline and landed behind him. And that one landed in front of him. So the shells are going everywhere but into the Chappie. Okay, he's chasing it, but he's putting the shell ahead of its path. Unfortunately, it didn't go straight, it changed course because it knew it was under fire. Okay, on the riverbed, we've got a Panzer III Ausführung J. Now, he fired that one a bit snap and also wasn't fully dialed in and, well, no, still having trouble with the Panzer III, but he is going to go down because he's very low on hit points and he gets taken out by the AT2. Further back, we can see a T6 medium and we fire a round at him, but before we even watch what happens to that round, we're looking at the Panzer IV Ausführung H and we fire ahead of his path, but unfortunately he gets tracked, so now we're dialing in as quickly as we can to get an accurate shot on him. Rounds out and unfortunately, it lands behind the Panzer IV. He's going to give it another go. Just have a quick look. Nope, the guy's moved on. He's definitely moved on. Now, he fired at that spot because it was being indicated. And there's nothing there. Now, he is burning up quite a bit of ammo so far on blind targets. Sometimes you do need to conserve your ammo. He's just doing a bit of demolishing work there. Oh, tree went down, so something went through them, knocked the tree over. Now we're seeing a wall knocked over, but we're firing past the mosque. And the problem is, the mosque is a solid object which cannot be penetrated. So, yes, it would obstruct the shell if we fire in that direction. He fires another snap near to the market. And we can see destruction going on. And yeah, he's blasting away these shells, but he's not getting any effect from them. Rounds out. Yeah, again, just a little too late. And the Panzer IV is now stationary, and that makes him a perfect target. And he does get the kill with one accurate shot. So he's used up a lot of ammunition. It took 6 shots, I think, from the moment that he started chasing that Panzer IV, and now he's just demolishing houses for the pleasure of it. Not a wise choice to do, because it does actually fire at nothing, and of course gives the enemy a chance to see where you are, because you're constantly blasting out rounds, which the enemy Arty is going to look for. Yeah, best to conserve your ammo. In fact, there's an enemy Chappie nearby. If you look at the mini-map, he's just... In fact, the enemy Hetzer has just killed our Valentine anti-tank. And now we're looking at this Chappie up on top of the hill. He does get a hit, and it's a penetrating shot. But we're going to get spotted because he's up there on the hill. In fact, it's a T6 medium, and yeah, He got a kill shot. And Appa's out the game. And here's the battle from the opposite end of the map. You're looking at the same 105 leFH18B2 vehicle, but it's under the command of a different player. This one is under the command of Javins the Man, and he's in platoon with Shadow Wish 7274 in a Striv M42 just alongside him. Game on. Well, I said it was the same vehicle. It's not quite the same vehicle. It's not actually Appa's vehicle. It's the same type of vehicle as Appa had, with the same power and the same force, 410 alpha of HE, 53mm pen and 1.91 meters burst radius, and 350 alpha and 104mm pen when he uses the heat rounds. You can see that Javins is actually gone to a nice little position which is near the cap area, but it's a well-used position, so it's fairly obvious to anyone if they look in that general area. There are bushes and trees that you can search through to try and find an enemy tank. Well, he's done a bit of looking around in the desert, but unfortunately there's nobody nearby that he can shoot at. He's asking his teammate in the Striv M42 to do a quick recce of that area. He's moving up the south end of the map, as you can see on the mini-map. And we've marked a spot saying, have a quick look in there. Of course, we know at the moment that Appa561 was actually in grid square C1, and he was firing at the Chaffee. You can see the shells landing all around the Chaffee on the mini-map. Okay, well, it was an M4A1, and he's just gone in for the ram on our Striv M42. We fire one quick snap in, and it was fairly close, but didn't actually do much damage. In fact, it didn't do any damage, and unfortunately our platoon mate is now out of the game. But we are still working on this area, and we're going to lose sight of these enemy tanks very shortly. Unfortunately, that one's a bit too long, but he's now dialing in on the M4A1 that first attacked our platoon mate, and that's an accurate hit for 88. But we're going to lose sight of these guys very soon, I think. Fires one more in, and he gets a kill shot with that one. So Javins on the scoreboard. Now going for the Panzer Die Ausführung J. He actually got a hit, and he's tracked the guy, but the guy uses his repair kit fairly quickly to get moving. Except, of course, he's been tracked again, but this gives Javins the chance to dial in on that target and get it accurate. Rounds out. Okay, well, the other Arty on our team was quick, and he did manage to get a direct hit, but Javins didn't. Oh! Now, he did get a hit there, and, yep, it looks like the other Fifi on our team did manage to get a kill there. We've got two Fifis on this team, and we've got an M41, sorry, not an M41, two Fifis on our team. The enemy team, Appa and the M41. And at the moment, as we can see, we're now aiming towards the pass in the north of the map. The T6 medium moving up. Now, he's not fully dialed in, so he fired that one in a bit snap, but he did get a hit. Does happen every now and then you get a direct hit off a snap, but most of the time it doesn't happen. Now, he fired a bit snap there as well. And we can't see the tanks now because we've got no spotters up there to tell us where they are. We lost our two teammates in that general area. And now we're looking at the M82, whilst our teammate in the Panzer Ausführung H. Oh, he just got wiped out by Appa. So we're looking at the opposite end of the map at the riverbed. The 82 takes a hit for 182. Fire another one in, and another direct hit. And he's just let the aim settle. Rounds out. Oh, he got the kill shot with that one. So that's the second kill for Javins. Meanwhile, an enemy Panzer T25 has actually managed to make it as far as our cap area. And he's not the only one. There's a Lux up there as well. So now he's focusing on this guy because we've got several AFKs in our team. And they are still in the cap area, but they're acting as spotters whilst they're AFK. Okay, M10. Is that an M10? No, it's a Wolverine. Okay, he's dialing in as quickly as he can to get an accurate shot. Rounds out. Direct hit. Big hit for 204. That was right on the turret. You can see there, right on next to the turret bar. He gets a second hit, this time for 137. The guy's a one-shot if we can get another hit on him. Rounds out. Nope, didn't get the hit. And we've been spotted. Now, there is still an Arty on the enemy team. It's the M41. And so Appa is moving to avoid counter battery. Now, the other Arty on our team did actually get into a safe place. He's actually nearby, I believe. Okay. He's looking for that Panzer T25. No. Reloading. He's trying for the blind shot. Oh, he did hit him there. The shell disappeared without an explosion, so we know that that Panzer T25 took one round in the face, but he moved away afterwards. Now, at this moment, things are not going so well on position because the enemy's into our area of the map. We're trying to get a shot on the Matilda Black Prince, and they're very thick armor, so very difficult to kill. You need direct hits and possibly even heat rounds. And in fact, you can see Javins is running short on ammo, so he needs to conserve his shots to make sure that he has enough rounds available. There's the Panzer T25. Unfortunately, we've got a red line, so we can't shoot at him, but we can certainly shoot at this Leopard. Unfortunately, he's going behind the buildings. We're fully dialed in. Knocks the building down instead. The Leopard tries to use the cover. There he is. And unfortunately, the Leopard just killed our Su-85. So, can we get a shot? Not without knocking the building down first. He tries a quick shot into the bush. Doesn't work. In the meantime, the enemy Panzer T-25 went around up the riverbed, went around the cap and tried to outflank us, but it didn't work. He got taken out. We're now aiming for the Matilda. That shot didn't work. He's dialing in, reloading. That's a direct hit for 119. You can see Javin's reload time is 7.68, which is very fast. But unfortunately, that shell went over. He's very short on ammo now. He's firing heat rounds instead of HE. And he's never going to get a shot at the Matilda Black Prince whilst he's hiding behind the rock. But he can hit this guy, but he needs to dial in because he's using a heat round. He has to get a direct hit. Oh! The kill actually went to the Hetzer on our team. Now, he is loaded with the heat round. Ideally, he needs to switch back to the HE. He's only got one HE round left, but it would be better to use the HE just to track the vehicle if he gets a snapshot off, and then use the heat rounds to take them out. Both teams have only got 3 players left. There's 2 Arty on our team, and our tank is a Matilda, whereas on the enemy team, they've got the Matilda Black Prince, the M41 HMC, and a T6 Medium. We know the T6 Medium is fairly close by. Our Matilda's low on health. There's our fellow Fifi. Now, I think Javins is repositioning to try and get the better of that T6 Medium. The view range on this Arty is 390 meters, so he can see a lot further than the Matilda, and he's trying to get to a spot where he can actually see that T6. As soon as he gets spotted, then he can deal with him. In fact, he's getting into a position so he can shotgun the guy. There he is. Okay, he's lining up the shot. He's fully dialed in, rounds out. Ooh, hit the ground next to him, or just behind him actually. I have the feeling that T6 Medium knows we're here, and he's pulled back. Now, the enemy Arty at the moment is the M41 HMC, and we know that he's got a big 155mm howitzer, and he can do 500 alpha. The problem is that he's loaded, but we don't know where he's aiming. We can't see any circles on the map indicating where he's firing at. We know where he was last seen. He was up near the enemy cap area. I actually get the feeling... Oh! Now he's out in the open, which means that the moment the T6 sees him, he's going to get spotted, and the Arty is going to dial in on him. This tank will do 28 kilometers an hour. So it's not particularly fast, but that's mainly because it's actually a heavy tank in disguise. They built the VP off the Char B1s that the Germans captured. And they captured a lot of them, actually. And they only turned 16 of them into this Arty. They actually turned a lot more of them into the flamethrower tanks. And also just used them as ordinary tanks. The Matilda's going down, and Jarvins is going to try and shoot from above. There's the T6. He's trying to get into position. He's just spotted the enemy. And it's the Matilda Black Prince. So at the moment, he's trying to dial in on that guy, but really he should be focusing on the T6 for the moment. In fact, the enemy RT just fired at our Matilda. We're trying to get a shot, an accurate shot on the Matilda Black Prince. Rounds out. Oh, he got him with a heat round, and it went straight through, but we lost our Matilda. So now it's two Arty versus a medium tank and an Arty. Now, the enemy Arty's bound to start dialing in on Javins, because Javins is going to have to get close to this guy. In fact, Javins decided to leap onto him, and he squashes him flat. But oh my gum, what has happened? He's killed the T6 medium, but he's now on his side. And the enemy Arty's firing at him, but, well, he can't right himself at the moment. He's trying. Now his teammate in the other VP is heading in this direction, so hopefully he might be able to get Javins back upright. He took 201 hit points of damage when he jumped on the T6 by ram damage, but he definitely, or is it, no, he actually did 201 hit points of damage. He actually suffered 80 hit points of damage. But the problem is now that the M41 HMC could take out Javins just like that. He says, I'm stuck sideways, can't shoot. You can see that again there, and yeah, I'm stuck sideways, help. It was actually, he was saying to the Matilda, I can't shoot in that dip, but, well, it was pretty heroic the way he jumped off that cliff into the T6 and took him out. He probably would have died straight away. Now, is his teammate coming down to help him? No, he's not, but the enemy M41 is just behind us. He's traveled all the way over the map, and the enemy, our friendly VP, knows he's here, and look, he's going in for a shotgun. And he still hasn't killed us with a direct hit at point blank range. He's now trying to ram us to death. Almost looks like he's trying to hump us. It's not humping season. You can't do that. You're actually doing more damage to yourself. The M41 is actually suffering, but look at this. There you go. Javin's still alive, and he got him. Let's see an action replay for that. Here's the end of battle stats, and from Appa's point of view, he managed to get a bruiser medal, and that's all he managed to get out of this game, because he only managed to get 5 critical hits, and that's all before he was seen and taken out by the T6 medium on the enemy team. His win rate for that game was 1,224. Now, he did get a kill, so let's have a look at team score and see where he was. Yes, surprisingly, he was third on his team, who did 743 hit points of damage, the high score on his team being the T6 medium, who got 1,679 hit points, and he picked up a Leather Slayer's medal, and actually did get a fairly good win 8 of 7,460. That's the guy that Javins actually jumped on top of and wiped out by squashing him to death. Anyway, he also managed to pick up at least 1 kill, and he got 222 base XP. Let's have a look at the detail. 23 shots fired. A lot of them were just blowing up buildings in the village. They kind of were wasted ammunition. You really ought to conserve ammunition in the PP, because sometimes you run out far too quickly. He did get 2 direct hits on the enemy and 1 penetrating shot as well. I'm pretty sure that penetrating shot was actually the Panzer IV, but we'll just check that. No, it wasn't actually. It was the Chaffee. He hit him for 441 hit points. Let's have a look at the rest of the detail. He also got 4 splashes, 743 hit points of damage, of which 206 were at more than 300 meters. He did receive 1 hit. It was a penetrating shot from the T6 medium, and that ended his game. He also damaged 3 of the enemy, killed 1, and he earned a profit of 24,356 credits on a premium count and 466 XP. Let's have a look at the results for Yavin. Well, he did very well in that game, because this was the first time he's had a second-class tanker in the Fifi. Yes, you can tell it's the second class because it says 2, but it's the first time because he's had the scrolls underneath. You only get that the first time. He also managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He did get 4 exactly, as well as a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 12, and he got a high caliber as well for dealing the most damage in that game overall. And his win rate was 4,868, which is Super Unicum standard, and very nice indeed. Let's have a look at team score. Well, in this game, we can see that Javins actually did get the highest damage in the game with 1,709. You can see there's the T6 medium that was jumped on by Javins at the end of the game. He did 1,679 hit points in second place. And in third place was the other Fifi, who actually did the kill shot at the end, took out the M41 HMC. So he actually did do the right thing by staying where he was, but he needed to get closer to kill that M41 because he was trying to hump Javins to death. Continual ramming of the enemy is only going to get yourself in trouble. The M41 is based on the Chaffee tank. It's very, very light indeed. It is a light tank, a light Arty. And therefore, if you try to ram a heavy tank continuously, I think actually Javins would have won that contest because the M41 would have expired simply by trying to hump him. Anyway, he got 1,303 hit points of damage, the other Fifi on the team. And they both managed to get the same number of kills, in fact, the same number of kills as the Hetzer, but the T6 medium managed to get 5 kills. So he got the highest number of kills. Javins came second with the other Arty, Skillet 330, and the Hetzer also got 4 kills. And when it came to base XP, it's, Javins the man. He got 901 out of that game, the highest score. 737 went to Skillet 330 in the other Fifi, and 696 went to the Chaffee, who probably did a bit of spotting. Yes, a bit of spotting, 315 in that game. He fired 35 rounds, so he still had plenty of ammo left at the end of the game. 14 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot, and 14 splash. Damage of 1,709 hit points, of which 1,623 were at more than 300 meters. Damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 4 of them, and did 134 hit points of damage assistance. He earned a profit for the battle of 44,450, but he fired a few premium rounds during that game, and on top of that, he did pay for the consumables, and that's where it cost him, because he actually ended up with a loss, 16,440 credits for the game. And he did make a profit on XP, though, 5,948, and that's certainly going to help him at the least. Now, if there was one thing I would say about Javins, actually, was that he needs to consider his armor, his ammo load, because he ran out of HE rounds towards the end of the game, and he was actually then being forced to fire either the heat rounds or the armor piercing. And the problem with that, of course, is that you need to get a direct hit to make those work, whereas with the HE rounds, you only need to land a shell close to the target to get some damage on them. Now, I must admit that at the end of the game, there wasn't a lot he could do with that M41 trying to get him from behind, because, of course, he was on his side and he was basically flipped, but at least it didn't kill him when he jumped on top. Came very close to it. And I would say as well, on one point, that he did use a heat round on that Matilda Black Prince, and it worked very well indeed. He got him right in the point where, a weak point, where the shell would go through, and took him out with one round, and that was a valuable kill. Although at the time I thought it would have been better for him to help Matilda kill that T6, and then both of them could have gone after the Matilda Black Prince and win the battle that way. But it was an interesting battle, and you don't often see a win where the player actually lands on their side right at the end of the game and still on the winning team. So congratulations to Javins, the man. Commiserations, I should say, to Appa561 of OLIMP. He sent in the replay because he thought this would be funny, and I must admit, it is funny seeing a tank win a game, especially an Arty, when he's on his side. Yes, very peculiar indeed, but it was an epic crunch on that the T6 medium. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.